Hello, welcome to this quick updates for Cyclone 31. So it's near northwestern Australia. It isn't a fully fledged system, it's still like a tropical depression or something, but there's already a lot of rain in Queensland from this system, and it might affect parts of the Northern Territory, specifically like the northeastern part of the Northern Territory, and maybe might leave some rains in Indonesia later on. So there are some models here, shows like it will pass very close to the Northern Territory and then might affect Indonesia later. There's the Navchin and the Canadian model that go further west towards the Indian Ocean, but the GFS is going towards Indonesia. And here there's the Canadian model. Ensembles it goes further west, but it might go towards Timor later. So let's see what the models have here. So there's like for Australia, the GFS does show this system there, a low pressure passes by the Northern Territory, will leave a lot of heavy rain there. So be careful in those areas. This goes and shows like it shows it practically dissipating before Indonesia, but the remnants moisture might leave some heavy rains there in the long term in spots of Indonesia. The GFS does try to form a low pressure later as well down the road, so we'll keep watching there. There's the European model. It goes like, let's see if it works here. So it shows a low pressure there. This goes shows going into the northeastern part of the Northern Territory. Might be a very heavy rain there, so be careful. Those areas, some flooding and everything. So it goes and like practically dissipates, but might leave more showers and storms in Indonesia later. There's the Canadian model. It goes there, shows like a tropical storm near the Northern Territory. It goes and like the Canadian goes further west into the Indian Ocean, and there's the icon here too, shows like this near Queensland now. This goes shows passing by the Northern Territory, and the icon curves it back south, but we'll keep watching. I don't think the icon's very right. So there's the precipitation from the Canadian model, shows like uh, this is like a week from now, but here like until Thursday next week shows some spots of the Northern Territory, especially right by the coast to 150 millimeters, and other spots to like 170 millimeters. But right on the coast, if it gets closer, it might be more than 100 millimeters. So be careful in those areas. There's the European here, and it passes like right through those areas of the Northern Territory, and it shows like 134 millimeters, some spots to 115, 122. So stay safe in those areas. And you see the European goes all the way to Indonesia, the moisture. And right, the northernmost part of the Northern Territory, it has more than 200, even close to 300 in the ocean. So be careful. That northern coast might be very heavy there. So be careful, and also shows this moisture in the Coral Sea, a lot of rain. So be careful there too. And for northern Queensland, those stronger storms in Northern Territory, and still those cold fronts southwestern Australia and other spots close to 40 millimeters, and New South Wales and Tasmania, spots of Victoria, it might have this stronger cold front, like 69 to even 100 millimeters spots of Victoria. So be careful. Shows more southern Queensland, some showers there too. So be careful those areas. And still showing not other spots of New Caledonia, Vanuatu, some storms still. So be aware. There's the GFS, it does have less, but it does have like 90 millimeters, 97, 139 spots of the Northern Territory because of this, and more in Queensland. So be careful. The icon shows more right close to the coast there, like 157 millimeters, 165 in the Northern Territory. So be careful in those areas, especially with flooding. And then there's like the access as well, might be interesting. So the access goes very close to the Northern Territory, but then curves north to Indonesia. So it shows spots there to 200 meters, 182, 322 in some towns there. So be very careful in those areas with flooding and everything. So stay safe. And for further out, it does show like it curving back, maybe more rain there in the Bay of Carpentaria. But yeah, please stay safe. There's like this front across South Australia and Victoria. There's like this small cyclone, extra tropical, so it goes there. Shows like those storms Monday, Tuesday near New South Wales, and more rain there, and still shows some by Thursday, spots of Queensland, New South Wales. Next Friday, still shows some, and then later maybe into New Caledonia. But be aware those areas. There's the European model too, shows Sunday, today Monday, spots of New South Wales, even Queensland, some thunderstorms in those areas. Monday, Tuesday, and still until Wednesday, this rain more in New South Wales. And by next Friday, the 25th, shows another front, Tasmania into New South Wales, probably. So be careful in those areas, and and happy Easter too. So be aware. In New Zealand, there's still storms remnant from that system, and these last few days were pretty crazy there. So still shows some storms there today into Monday, and Monday a few showers into Tuesday, maybe near Waitani, Tuesday into Wednesday, and then yeah. And down the road, like on the 26th, might be some systems to watch again. So be careful those areas. Just until the 25th shows like some more rain in the south and central New Zealand, those storms today, and maybe in the far north more rain as well. So stay safe in those areas. And there's the icon as well. The icon is even more in the coast of New South Wales, so be careful in those areas. The access to New South Wales and Samoa, Victoria, so be careful. And there's here for wind gusts, this system's not very strong, but it might leave some gusty winds. So as it goes to the Northern Territory, the Europeans like 64 km per gusts, the icons more in the ocean to 70, and the GFS is like not so much, and I don't know why it keeps switching things here. So Monday this goes, maybe more winds like just north of the Northern Territory as this passes by some other spots of the Northern Territory, but this is the current forecast. But this might change because this thing might strengthen more or weaken more, so you never know. So be aware. There's the axis as well, shows like the system there. It goes and doesn't show that much wind, but it shows locally some spots with higher gusts. so be aware in those areas. But a place that does have some more wind is South Australia, spots on New South Wales, and Monday, Tuesday, especially some mountains in Victoria Tuesday and near New South Wales because of that cold front. So be aware those areas. And yeah, and there's this higher this high resolution model for northern Queensland, and this one already shows more wind, already shows stronger there because it's more it's higher resolution. But for the rainfall accumulation, like if we check until Monday, shows in some spots on northernmost Queensland, if it works here, so shows more like already to 200 millimeters, 300 just next day or so in northern Queensland. So be careful in those areas. Those storms might cause flooding as well. There's like Northern Territory. Until Monday doesn't show much yet, because this thing will still be kind of in the Bay of Carpentaria, but already shows some isolated storms with more rain in those areas. Let's see if it has wind gusts, so it doesn't go as far out as the day of the cyclone, but it does show Monday this thing kind of approaching some slightly higher gusts. But yeah, be aware those areas. So here, the rest of Oceania still those scattered showers and storms. Monday, Tuesday, still some near French Polynesia, spots of Samoa. So still shows next 5 days or so. Some more near French Polynesia, especially the southern areas. Some more spots near Rikitea, further south because of those cold fronts, especially Solomon Islands and Vanuatu is stormier there, and New Caledonia. Fiji is kind of better, but Cook Islands and spots of Tonga slightly stormier, and further north in the Pacific already more frequent showers in Kiribati, especially southern northern areas, and some near the Micronesia, even the southern Marshall Islands, especially Micronesia, those storms in Papua New Guinea, especially. So be careful those showers and storms. And there's like really heavy downpours in Papua New Guinea, so be careful. Still those colder temperatures there in the south, and those like hotter temperatures further north. So it's not as hot as before, but still shows sometimes Western Australia to 38 degrees, some spots 37. So still be aware, but nothing that crazy. But these cooler temperatures are already dominating many areas. In New Zealand, it's even colder in the mountains there. So beware Tuesday, Wednesday, especially Wednesday, Thursday morning, the 24th. And yeah, so be aware those areas. There's still some wind in New Zealand. It's much better now, but still some gusts, especially central spots of New Zealand. So be aware those areas. There's like snow. Not sure if there will be any, but let's see. It does show next 5 days a tiny little bit further in the South Island, but that's the European. The GFS does have some 1-2 centimeters as well. So be aware those areas, but especially be careful with this cyclone near the Northern Territory and the heavy rains it might cause.